I was going to see if we can maybe rename CJN to One Big Learning Gang, because I like that line. We're just
pretty
one
good.
big
One
learning
big learning
gang here.
Yeah.
That's really the beauty of this podcast.
The beauty of this podcast is that
we are just one big learning gang.
That's true. Welcome to Church Jams Now. Oh, sorry. Let me start that over. Hello, good friends. Welcome to Church Jams Now, the podcast where three former youth group kids and current music nerds deep dive into Christian music from the 90s and 2000s. I, of course, am your co-host, Kylan Savage. With me, as always, is Mr. TJ Smith.
Man, we were just talking off mic about this, but I just feel like I'm going around the clock, you guys. Don't you feel like your life's just not
I feel that way
slowing down?
too. I was so alone thinking it was just me thinking that way.
I'm wondering if maybe somebody can tell me something good. Who else is here?
We're also joined by beautiful producer Josh Olson.
Hey guys, I'm so happy to be here. Every time we get to talk, it's like a Christmas present in mid-May, even though we're so far away from Christmas, but it's,
one that you never knew you wanted?
Oh,
Josh?
Man, it's, I'm going to show you everything I've got to talk about with this record.
And I do want to take an opportunity to tell all of the listeners that here at Church Jams Now, we're doing everything for you. Mm-hmm. So I hope
all these episodes, think of them as little treasures from us to you.
Yeah, people like to call us like a Brat Pack, but
like
really
the Brat Pack
we're just
of
good
Podcasting.
friends. Yeah.
And that's the story.
And if you don't like it, we hate to see you leave, but you just give us a goodbye wave and drive away.
Drive away.
You might move to the other side of the block, but it's your destiny to always come back to Church Jams.
Yes.
Boom. I think we hit them all. Did we hit them all, guys? Feels like it.
I think we did okay. Yeah.
I think
there's some good ones on this one. This album sets you up pretty well for
what we do, for the weirdly specific
for the
intro
very
that we do on our podcast.
very annoying puns.
All right, put that in the pros column for this.
Hey.
Yes, we are talking about hello, good friend, period. Gotta love the grammar jams now of
the
it
punctuation
all. By American rock band solo project, the
Rocket Band.
Ooh,
Rocket Company.
Yes, the Rocket Summer, celebrating an anniversary, I do believe.
That's correct, Kylan.
Wow. You want to, I guess we got to do the research.
Ooh, your favorite time already? You're just so excited to get into it, man.
I guess we got to do it.
All right.
It's the done thing.
Kylan, when I'm doing my research, I'm doing everything for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
To make it a wonderful experience.
Good friend.
Why do I feel like this bit has been stretched to its breaking point at this point? Like we're not even we're like halfway into the year.
What?
Yeah, no.
I'm calling it out. I'm over it.
That's fine. You can be. I'm gonna keep it going. Just wait till we cover VeggieTales, Veggie Rocks. Speaking of bits stretched too far.
Yeah.
You keep talking like this, and we're gonna do VeggieTales Goes Country. You guys hear that record?
No.
Of course,
I love that record.
What
is that? That's real?
Oh, that's super real.
That exists.
It's all too real.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
This is one of those moments where I wonder whether I'm the right person to be a part of a podcast called Church Jams Now.
No, we definitely aren't.
This is staying in the episode.
Oh my gosh. Why aren't we covering this record right now?
Sweet Willie Nelson.
Okay. All right. We're actually going to pivot. Sorry, Bryce Avery. We're
Willie
going to cover
the Cucumber?
Bob and Larry Go Country. Isn't that crazy? This exists. It came out in 2012.
That's insane.
They do. Yeah, they got Mamas Don't Let Your Babies Grow Up to Be Cowboys, 9 to 5.
But they don't change the lyrics to veggie related stuff. That's what I was fully expecting. Don't let your babies grow up to
or
be
like Sunday school topics,
something like fruit or veggie related.
Just Oh, they might change. Hold on, let's see.
Tell you, sometimes being a businessman is a long, hard grind.
Oh,
Yeah, no, they don't change the lyrics
Makes
at
me
all.
kinda wish I'd grown up to be a cowboy.
I think that's a missed
Stumble out of
opportunity.
bed and I stumble to the kitchen, pour myself a cup of ambition.
Ah,
Wow,
yeah.
this is going on the schedule now.
Yeah,
So
it's-
you
Shameless
just,
cash
you
grab.
just did that to yourself, Kylan.
Shameless.
No,
Kylan!
Passion of the Christ, songs all over again. I didn't-
Coming soon to a podcast near you.
It's such a cursed monkey's paw situation because I want to talk about country music like so badly with someone.
And this is the only way.
This is the only way we can shoehorn it into the show.
Yeah.
Sure, Kylan. We'll let you talk about country music sung by a cucumber.
Yeah. Well, we'll talk about that another time. Let's get back on track here. We're talking about the Rocket Summer. We won't pivot just yet. Maybe later. Maybe later. We'll see how it goes. But I want to just remind everyone, the Rocket Summer is originally from Dallas-Fort Worth in the Grapevine, Colleyville area. I did find on Reddit, someone posted an r/Dallas like 2 years ago. How does Grapevine keep producing commercially successful musicians? Pure coincidence or some subculture there? And they mentioned how like people who spent their childhood years there, like Post Malone, Demi Lovato, Nora Jones, Bryce Avery, and Brandon Pertzborn, drummer of The Offspring, apparently. So, but I was like, oh, that is funny.
Maybe it's something in the water.
Wild.
Maybe something up there on the Grapevine. Rocket Summer, of course, consists of one man and one man alone. And credits on this album, it says, all music, lyrics, and instruments performed, arranged, and written by Bryce Avery.
It's still crazy to me.
That is
Insane.
crazy. It is. Hello, Good Friend was released May 17th of 2005, so it's celebrating its 20th year anniversary. According to what I found on the internet, that would put Bryce at a couple months. I guess he's right around couple months over 23 years old at the time of release.
Okay.
This is his second LP, released on the Militia Group. It was produced by Tim O'Hare, who's produced bands such as some All-American Rejects, Bayside, and he famously did Say Anything's debut record, Is a Real Boy.
Nice.
Debut in quotes, I guess you could
Right.
argue. But yeah. But the big major label debut. Charts and performance, the only thing I found was that this was on U.S. Independent and Heat Seekers, which I don't really
Seekers.
know what those are at 26. I don't really understand anything that's not 200.
Right. Yeah, I don't get what the Heat Seekers is.
Yeah, I don't know what Heat Seekers is at all, but I know people always like, we're on Heat Seekers. I'm like, cool. Guess. 200's little brother,
Yeah,
I
but-
guess.
Only understanding is like just up and coming bands and artists.
Yeah.
And that's all that I can.
But still not good enough for the 200. They
Right.
have their own
Apparently not.
sub. Yeah. I mean, that's good, though. You don't want to be competing with Taylor Swift, and that's just not fair to anyone. So.
True.
Runtime is 13 songs at 56, a trim 56 minutes and 25 seconds.
We'll
Yep.
get into it.
We'll get into it. And the last thing I have is the artwork. I'm going to start putting it here at the end of my research. What do y'all think about the artwork?
I'm excited to put one of our faces.
I was wondering who's it
on
going to
it.
be.
I don't know. I mean, obviously, my initial thought is the TJ face, which
But
longtime listeners.
Kind of when I think of
shouldn't-
Rocket Summer, I think of you.
I know that, but that's
Yeah.
that's my other thought.
and you put my
Yeah.
face on the last Rocket Summer art that we did.
That's
Yes.
true.
So
and I've
you can't
technically
double up.
I've put your off
not
face
fair.
in I think probably about 17,
It's in almost everyone.
almost every single one.
It's a lot.
It's become a little bit of an Easter egg just for myself now.
That's great.
I just
Happy to
need-
help.
I need new
Glad I could
pictures
provide
for you guys. Yeah.
everyone with entertainment.
I made a joke the other
Yeah,
day
it's
when
interesting.
I was listening to this. It's a joke, and no one interacted with the tweet, which is completely valid because it was just a thought for me. But he's got that little pink sticker on his guitar,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know if you guys have been following Kesha much lately, but she has all of her branding and stuff, and the thing with her new album is a hot pink sticker that looks the same. She even, all of her past discography on Spotify has replaced all the album art with the big pink stickers. So I was hoping for
Really?
maybe a Rocket
Really?
Summer Kesha collab
That's probably what
Collab,
she's
yeah.
been hinting at this whole time with
That's
it.
what I think.
Yeah.
I knew you were the
'cause
guy.
really-
I can see no other reason for her to be doing that.
Right.
No, and what we know is that any musicians that have stickers are going to collab with any other musicians that also have stickers.
That's true. That's something we all learned studying music business at Dallas Baptist University, right?
And we also bring it up all the time. It's a classic known
it's
fact.
well known. Yeah. That if you
Stickers
want to get
equal
on the Heat
creative
Seekers
collaboration.
chart, you gotta have a sticker and you gotta collab.
That's the key to it. Yep.
Yeah, what do you guys think?
I just think it makes him. It's a little young Bryce Avery with his little punk
Little
rock
hedgehog hair?
spiky hair. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like what was that? That like glue, that hair glue brand.
Oh, got to
that-
be
that
glued?
was like huge. Got to be, yeah.
Got
it's
to
like
be.
he dumped a whole bottle of that stuff
He had to.
on his noggin and just pulled his hair in every direction.
Yup.
It's crazy. Like, I don't know, man. I applaud him, and I'm also like, I mean, Colin, you can tell us like what
Where's this going?
what do you think of his style choice for 2005? Like, I think of you as like a fashionista, especially for
What?
like the early
What do you-
like the early aughts.
What are you
Like
talking
like
about?
2000 to 2010.
Or emo
think of you as,
fashionista.
like,
yeah, you knew
the
what
guy.
was hip, what was hot back then.
Yeah, the
Is
hair was
he-
not good then.
Is he nailing it?
I don't think
Nope.
so.
You don't think so?
I don't
Hair
think
choice
so.
for then, especially for this
Yeah.
kind of music.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I do think it's funny that he's gone to like the cropped image of just like the guitar for
Yeah.
like the like on streaming. I was like, oh, I see why, Bryce. I see
Yep.
why.
Yep. I get
Yeah.
it.
Is it a cardigan he's wearing, or like a jacket, or just a button-up shirt? What do
No,
we
it's
think?
like one of those. Remember that was kind of the thing for a hot minute in like 2005. It was like not like a tracksuit, but kind of like Aeropostale. I feel like had a lot of those. It was like
very synthetic kind of.
yeah, even like Hot Topic was selling those with like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on them and stuff. You know, it's like kind of pseudo tracksuit
Right.
top.
Yeah,
I had some.
Yeah.
I had a blue one with like a yellow stripe on it.
interesting.
It's
Wow.
it's art. It's album art.
It is. It was put on many copies and distributed throughout the country, so
Yeah.
everyone has seen it. Yeah.
I wonder how Bryce feels about it.
in 2025.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be cool to learn.
Yeah. So this is our second Rocket Summer.
It is. It's been right about 2
Yep.
years too.
Oh wow. So
Coincidentally.
we obviously, so I don't think we need to get much into like our history with Rocket Summer because I feel like we did pretty extensively on Do You Feel, right?
I think so. It's been a while.
We talked
but
about how we were playing a show and you went to go see Rocket Summer, Josh,
Yep.
and then came back to the venue to play.
Yep.
Just left me there.
Left you and Tanner there. It was fine.
We talked about how I've seen him live a bunch. We talked about how TJ is not super familiar.
Yep.
Nope.
I don't think much has changed.
Yp.
TJ's
That's
even
all
gotten
still true, I
less
think.
familiar, maybe, or more familiar. I don't know.
I-
We'll have to
That
see.
might be true. I had a baby, y'all.
Yeah.
Like my brain
A lot of things have become less familiar to you.
is, yeah. I'm a stranger to myself. I don't know about any good friends these days,
Yeah,
except for you guys.
Yeah, that's what this episode is here for. You know,
exactly.
just a chance to just say hello to some
Absolutely.
good friends.
Yeah. So then I want to talk about just real quick before we get into Flopper Bops. I think I know TJ's, but I want to know like what's y'all's history with this record?
Yeah, absolute zero.
Yeah, until 2 days ago.
And yep.
Yep. Very nice. Very nice. Nice and to the point. So you get the fresh listening experience perspective that you'll be bringing to the
Absolutely.
show, which is always fun. For me, this was an album. I mean, I think I had all the Rocket Summer CDs, but I would kind of, for the most part, listen to like the first 7 tracks. And then once I got to Brat Pack, then I'd be like, cool. That's like kind of all. And then like, I don't think I really, I'm sure I know some songs off Calendar Days, but this record was like as far back as I went into the Rocket Summers catalog, and then everything else is like Do You Feel and beyond.
Right.
So I'm pretty familiar with the first half of this record and not as much with the second half.
Yeah. This one for me, I was already into Calendar Days when this one came out, but like kind of similar to you, Josh. Like, I know this is like a big one for Rocket Summer.
Yeah, I feel like it's a pretty beloved one within the fandom.
Mm-hmm. It was never a big one for me. Like, it was one that was like I'm relatively familiar with, and I listened to a lot. But it's not one that I often go back to. And I think part of it, which we'll get into, I think part of it is the length. And I have more specific things that I'll talk about once we get into the album.
Oh, good. That's what we do on the show.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't want to do it
work out.
all up top. Yeah, so I think I would have predicted a, like, Bear Bop. It would have been a higher, bigger bop, but you guys know how I feel about long records. So... No need to belabor the point. Bloviate on and on.
Don't bloviate on and on, Kylan. That's enough bloviating.
Yeah, you better not, man. Yep. Don't you bloviate.
What about y'all?
I would have also probably given it a soft bop as well, with knowing that I like the first half of the record so much. I'm like, that probably would be enough to carry it, depending on how I do or do not feel about the second half of the record.
There you go. TJ, based solely on... TJ, did you flop, do you feel?
Dude, I just got finished talking about how my brain can't hold
anything
in it anymore.
I meant, Josh, did TJ flop, do you feel?
I don't remember.
That is what you meant, Kylan. That is what you meant.
I don't remember in the pivot table. The Power BI is on my other computer, so I can't look it up.
Oh, no.
Hold on, can I look it up?
Database.
Whatever impression it made on me when we covered Rocket Summer last time, hasn't stuck in my mind in a way that really I guess endears me to the band enough to think that the album before this, the one we covered, this one that we're about to cover, is so good that a band that I'm fairly unfamiliar with, that I would bop it, just because I am kind of like picky a lot of times with that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. You know, like if I'm not super familiar, then I tend to err on like an uncertain flop side.
Right.
Of the fence. So I think I would say like a pretty fair flop.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to get the party started with 2005's Do You Feel by the Rocket Summer. What? What?
You want to check that album name
What did
again?
I say? I said, do you feel?
You did.
I totally did. With 2005,
how do you feel, Kyle?
I don't know, man. I
Good
told
friend?
you.
Hey,
listen, I
Kyle,
told
good?
y'all.
Hello.
Hello,
okay.
good friend.
Good friend.
Oh man. I didn't even catch it. I don't know, guys. I should just quit.
That was
right?
awesome.
I
No,
said
don't
it so
quit.
confidently.
If you have to,
too.
you just move to the other side of the block. But don't quit on us, Kyle.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
When we come back, we're gonna get the party started with 2005's Do You? Oh my God, no!
He's stuck. He's in a loop. We broke Kylan, Josh.
Oh, we're never gonna get to the side B of this episode.
Nope.
The fans and us will never know how we feel about the record.
Ooh, nice.
We're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna get the party started with 2005's "Hello, Good Friend" by the Rocket Summer.
Yeah.
Just cut to the break.
So proud of you.
Hello, good friend.
Oh, hey, Kylan. I couldn't see you.
Do you have the sweet shivers?
I do actually. Yeah, it's a good thing you asked because I've been worried about them.
How do you feel about those?
I feel like I've just become kind of like a shadow caster because of these sweet shivers. Like I'm just kind of like in the corner, lurking.
Well, I've been counting down the calendar days until we've been able to do this ad.
I think life will write the words to this ad. It's unscripted, but life will write the words.
Zoetic. How do you work that into a conversation? I don't think it's possible.
Do not know.
Guys, we're talking about Rocket Summer. The Rocket Summer.
Yep.
Not a Rocket Summer.
Article is necessary.
Yes. It's not a Minecraft movie, right? It's the Rocket Summer.
Not a sponsor.
Yeah. Correct. In fact, the sponsor is our favorite sponsor ever, colliderecords.com, where, guess what? They have a ton of Rocket Summer stuff available, including Sweet Shivers, Shadowcasters, Do You Feel, Calendar Days, like basically all the things we just talked about.
No, they've basically got it all.
One thing
Great
that is really cool, they do have the Hello Good Friend double LP, which it's crazy. It's only $40. It's a double LP. I love the look of the vinyl. It's yellow and pink. It reminds me of like Lemonade, which feels very appropriate for Rocket Summer. But guess what? If you're a listener of this show, it's not $40. It's cannot do math. 20% less than $40. You want to know why?
It's that $32. Why, Kylan?
I know you just had to do the math in your head. The thing is, I pretended to do the math, knowing full well I wasn't going to get there. You actually did the mental math. Guess what? We have a promo code. If you go to checkout, you put these things in your cart, you use your fingers, type in promo code ChurchJamsNow, you get 20% off your entire first purchase.
Whoa. That's a great deal.
That is a great deal.
That's a great deal that you should try like right now.
I think you should. If you want to join the Brat Pack of Podcasters, go to colliderecords.com, type in 20%, or type in, oh my God. No, this is what happened on the actual Rocket Summer episode.
Type in 20%.
Type in hashtag. No. Type in Church Jams Now at checkout to get 20% off your first purchase.
And you will find yourself in the company of men and angels when you do so.
Boom! There it is, baby. Perfect ad. No notes. Back to the show. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed those ads as much as we enjoyed making them.
I don't know if that is possible, Kylan.
I don't know. At this point, listener, dear jammer, you will know better than I whether the ad we recorded right now is in the episode. We shall see. But we're back talking about Hello Good Friend by the Rocket Summer. Before we go track by track, does anyone have any general thoughts?
I do not.
My general thought is we should go track by track.
Ooh, cool. I like that, TJ. Let's do it.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, I just came up with that.
So one thing I wanted to talk about, I was excited. So I think I talked about it in Do You Feel? The Rocket Summer is one of those bands I got my sister into in high school. And she was like really, really, really into the Rocket Summer. In fact,
that also happened with my sisters.
Yeah. I took her to see the Rocket Summer live once or twice. So I was really excited. And I asked her, I was like, hey, we're covering Hello Good Friend. What's your favorite song on it? She said, Around the Clock.
Nice.
And then I haven't heard anything else from her since. So no follow-up there. Thanks.
She's got a lot of kids, though.
That's very true.
She got the song out, though. Mm-hmm.
So shout out, Maddie. Thanks for telling me your favorite song. And I want to know, Josh, do you have any predictions for TJ and I's favorite songs?
I kind of do. I was like, had some initial ones, and then I was like, well, I don't know. I could see maybe sometimes you guys surprise me. So I'm like, trying to account for like the surprises. Like maybe this song spoke to them or whatever. But I do. They're kind of a little basic, though. The ones that I want to go on record with.
Okay.
They're not very inspired, not very deep cut picks here. But I'm going to say TJ Never Knew, Kylan Brat Pack.
Okay. Interesting. I can dig that. I potentially have some predictions.
Oh?
Ooh. That's a little more rare.
I know.
I can't wait to hear them.
I think Josh's favorite is going to be I'm Doing Everything for You. And I think Story is TJ's favorite song. He just doesn't know it yet.
I love that.
Okay. Fascinating.
We're going to be listening to it, and he's going to be like, oh my gosh, guys.
Well, I have some things we'll get into it when we get to that
right
song.
Now.
Because I think as of now, I think it's so deep in the track list, and I'm guessing, because this record's really long, and there's a lot of similarities throughout it, I'm guessing TJ's lizard brain kind of kicked in a little bit on the second half of this record, and he doesn't realize.
So you think you're gonna have
what
to
it is.
like talk me into it?
Yes,
like
exactly.
you're almost like like an attorney,
A
like
little bit.
representing
Yes.
Represent
A little
like
bit.
Rocket Summer versus
my client
Yes.
story.
Messrs.
Yes.
Smith and
Yes.
Olson.
I call my client to this.
Yeah.
thing.
Exactly. So
All right,
we'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. Okay. Well, without further ado, let's start with track 1. Have I ever said that before? That doesn't sound like me. Track number 1, Move to the Other Side of the Block.
And try all of our lives, working with such pride, making cash just to survive as we race.
Kylan, do you feel okay tonight?
No. Not at all. Okay, can I go first?
Please.
Okay. So, as an opening track guy, I get why this is here coming from Calendar Days. You can definitely tell this album is like a step up from Calendar Days. But I don't think this should have been the first track.
Mhm.
I think it's like
cutting it or just like resequencing it.
maybe, I don't know. I could go either way. Maybe cut it. It's just like half a song, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like two halves of half songs.
Right.
It's like two different half songs.
Yeah. Like I said, I get it coming from Calendar Days. It makes sense because it feels almost like Dashboard doing Places You've Come to Fear the Most, like from Swiss Army Romance. Like, oh, it's like full band. Not that he wasn't full band, but it's definitely more of like a full production. Feels pretty epic compared to that.
Mm-hmm.
Good intro in terms of that. I don't think it should have been the first track. I'll tell you which one should have been when we get there.
Oh, interesting.
I just wish I knew what it was about. Like I feel like he's almost saying something, but I don't. But I kind of like don't know.
I think we talked about this a little
there-
bit on Do You Feel too. I think that's just a little bit of his songwriting style. I could see that being a
Yeah.
huge disconnect for you,
Yep.
TJ.
Yep.
I feel like I get enough
So, like,
of what this song is kind of about. Like,
Tell me, Josh.
well, like
what do you
he
think?
mentions, like obviously like societal things of like making cash just to survive, and then how like and so like I feel like maybe he's like feeling a little bit of the pressure of probably getting older, and also like making music like his career and stuff like that. Which he's still very young at the time, which is funny. I do like the idea that his idea to kind of get out of the rat race is just moving to the other side of the block. Like, it's like that'll be far enough to get me out of here.
There's no rat race over there.
Yeah.
They're not racing.
So that kind of is funny.
They're
But I do feel
walking
like and I think it does connect to a little foreshadowing to what we'll kind of like get into with Story, that and some other songs as well. That I mean, I feel like it does intro the record and like bring up some of the concepts of like societal and how people are perceiving him or what they're wanting from him and or for him.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I think where it loses me is where we pivot to they're rooting I'll fail and rooting she'll bail, and then he does the jail thing, which I like that idea, the jail thing, where he introduces it first. They feel so secure when I'm in this jail, but I'm not letting it happen this time, and then he comes back to it with the pretty unique idea. Like the visual is to me very striking of being locked out from your own jail. That part felt really strong. That was a strong
Man, it killed me that he didn't rhyme well with cell. Like I was like, it was right there,
Oh, yeah.
man. But he went in jail, which
Yeah.
kind of works,
yeah.
but it would have worked really good. So, she,
Yep.
I'm assuming,
But the relational
is
part,
the she of
like,
it.
yeah.
I'm assuming it's Tara, his girlfriend at the time and future wife, because I'm assuming she's the subject of many of these songs.
Probably.
So I guess like I'm trying to figure out like how it all. I guess what I'm having to face is that it's a very like self-focused, introspective song and possibly album. Maybe more than I was prepared for or was able to like resonate with. But this opening track was, I guess, like it felt a little scattered to me. But Josh, you're helping me kind of find some anchor points thematically.
I think as we move later in the record, I feel like I
album.
connected them. Like, okay, this is where he brings up this again that he kind of talked about in the first song. So, wow, Kylan, you're 2 for 2 between this and the Everglow of not liking the intros and stuff. I love this. I mean, it's like a minute and a half, right? Like it just gets in. It has a lot of like dynamics. It's like gets you
That's true.
excited to kind of go. And I think it does intro a lot of the ideas on the record and just is like very much an idea of like, this is the sound you're going to get if you're unfamiliar with the Rocket Summer. So
For sure.
I love a short, sweet 90-second intro track like this, you know?
Well, you was
I am
so alone.
So alone. I was so alone.
You was so alone.
In that. Moving on to track 2. I was so alone. This should have been the opening track.
I feel like it still
I felt
kind
the
of
same
is.
way, Kylan.
It kind of is still.
But I feel like
I view them as like 2 opening
move
tracks.
to the other side of the block. Well, you can't do that. You get one opening track.
No, it works.
You can't. No, they're both opening.
Only
tracks.
I can
No.
take exception with clear binaries, Josh. That's a TJ exclusive privilege. Sorry.
Okay, all right. That's
Because I feel like this also does the same things that the opening track did. I think it's got
it does,
the
but it
dynamics.
also builds on it. Like that just was like that was the appetizer. This is like the first course.
I've got a concept I want to apply to your argument here, Kylan, that I think that might be a helpful tool for us to use going forward. I think Bryce is like a classic like secret theater kid, and I think we've talked about this on our previous episode. But
I definitely
like,
hear that. Yeah.
I think especially on this album, he's really leaning into like the musical theater thing of like, we need themes, we need variations on themes, we need introductions to this thing, and we also need introductions to this thing. And like, this character got their little soliloquy or their like monologue or whatever. Now this character needs theirs. And he almost maybe does it a little indulgently in a way that some of us might think of as like redundant. But like in a musical theater context, it's like, it works because it fits inside the structure of telling a story.
That makes
and
sense.
each character kind of needing their introduction. But I on a musical level, Kylan, and even like thematic, I also felt that way, especially like on my first listen. The more I got into it, like second and third time through, I was kind of like, okay, there's enough variety between these two. But I still ultimately, if I could make an alternate track list, it would be to have I Was So Alone as the opener. So I end up
plus it starts
landing
out
with you.
like it would have been up there, upper echelon, like with Copeland, of starting out an album with stick clicks.
Some cool stick
mean,
click. Yeah.
That's just great. You guys know I love that.
Yeah.
I should've-
You want to win Kylan over? No opening intro track. Just
No.
straight to the stick clicks.
Exactly. Just start out.
Get right into it.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
dude. And I know we talked about this a ton on Do You Feel, but it's still. I mean, it just has to be said. Like, it's insane that he's playing all of these instruments. Like,
It's so true, man.
I don't know. He just has a knack. Like, he just understands it all because, like, he's not playing just basic stuff on everything. Like, he is
no just
like,
root note moments on the bass, no
Right.
like simple chords on the guitar,
not just
boring
like
piano parts.
yeah, not just like straightforward
Every instrument
drums,
has moments
like they all
that are like that have flourishes.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And just like even like writing your songs like that.
impressive.
Because I mean, so many like things can come out of like when you're playing with other people and playing off of what. But it's like, I'm assuming he's never doing that. He's always just like either if he's writing a drum part, he's just writing the drum part by himself, or like he's got either guitar or piano to start with. He's not ever has like a drummer doing like a oh, do this cool beat, and then I wrote a bass riff around it or something.
Right.
Right. He just has it all in his brain. And is able to
or he's just starting at one
put
single
the pieces
piece and
in
then
place.
building everything out from there. But yeah, it's very impressive.
Yeah.
It's
It
pretty
really is.
crazy.
And being so young too.
I have a specific music thing. At 103 is my favorite cheesy guitar lick of all time. I say like cheesy just in that like it's used a lot, and it I'm not saying this sarcastically. It legitimately is one of my favorites. It's this right here.
The 785.
Yes.
Yep. 715, I guess.
In the like triplet format rhythmically, yeah.
Yep. 715, baby. That's so funny. That's what I wrote too, Josh. Yeah.
Hey,
It's the best.
Jimmy World does it in the solo for 23, and it's all right with me, you know?
Yeah.
Yes.
No, it's my favorite.
Oh, it's
it's
great.
so good. I don't know why it just always works.
It does always work.
Mm-hmm.
There's the piano rock is certain strong, where he's
Yep.
multiple glissandos upon glissandos towards
That's true.
in like the bridge or whatever. I did like the line, I'm wanting this to be a supernatural flood of life and not just make believe. And honestly, a supernatural flood of life is a good way to describe the Rocket Summer's music, I would say. Like,
I
what
like
is Bryce
that.
about? It's a supernatural flood of life is what you're getting into
Yeah.
with
I like
the
that.
Rocket
That's good.
Summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna add a caveat to that later on, Josh. But I do really love that description.
Okay.
I think that's wonderful.
He does so good at mixing his falsetto with just this kind of screamy yelly thing.
Yeah, his like scratchy vocals, the transition into his head voice. It's
Yeah, it's
pretty phenomenal.
crazy. Also, I like that he almost basically ends the song by saying "break it out," and then the first track on "Do You Feel" is "Break It Out."
Yep.
See, this is why this should have been the opening track, because then you have that symmetry.
That's
See, I knew
That's
that would
pretty
get
cool.
you, Josh. I knew that would
But if you just look at it as part 2 of the opening track, it's
Oh,
fine. It's just the sequel of the opening track.
No, it's not the opening track.
Josh,
It's the second
Josh has his
movement
mental
of the
gymnastics.
opening track.
You're losing your mind. All right, let's move on to track number 3, "Around the Clock."
The idea of being without you. And no, this won't be a sad song. There's gonna be classics singing along.
That dance has always like been a weird way to start the song to me.
Yeah.
It's like a strange pronunciation.
He has another one on another song. I don't think I wrote it down. There's another word that he says. I can't remember what song it is now. We'll figure it
like-
out. But
Extra intense affect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it gets your attention.
This is also super like musical theater.
100%.
Like-
yeah.
Like
For
there's
sure.
choreography to this. You know, like there is someone, him or someone else, has made some choreography for this song.
Yeah.
April, May, June, and July.
Well, if he hasn't
of,
done
like,
it,
jazz
well,
hands,
All right, we
you know?
need to reach out to Bryce about you know Church James Now Productions after our hit off Broadway adaptation of The Question by Emery. We should do Hello Good Friend, the musical.
That's it. Around the clock.
Sure.
No, this is, I mean, the kids these days, they're always making them TikTok dances. This is our chance to just go viral on
All
one
right,
of those.
Josh, you're in
right,
charge of the
guys?
TikTok, so if you
I
just
am.
give us some choreo and we'll make it happen.
Oh, look at you, choreo. You're ready for it. It's got the lingo down.
What I know is that this choreo is going to have claps and singing along, which
It absolutely
as a
will.
lyric kind of bothers me if I'm honest, because I think it just sounds so contrived, like in a song when you just say it, like
Right.
claps and singing along inside a song where he's literally singing about singing.
But here's
But I also totally get it. I want people clapping and singing along when
it's
I'm
one of those
playing
things
a show.
that like super
course I
works
do.
in a
Of
live
course I do.
context. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. It's yeah, you're right. It's like when I'm hearing it as I'm
Right. When
doing
you're like
some laundry.
exactly,
I'm like,
you're just like fuck
claps
you
and
telling me to
sing along?
clap
Okay,
and
that's-
sing along.
that's
No.
cute.
I'm alone
Christ.
in my house
But
right
at a
now.
show?
Tell me to clap.
I would be singing at the top of my lungs, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
and then if you're not super familiar with the band, you're like, oh, cool, he's telling me what to do. People like to be told what
Yeah.
to do a little bit in terms of
instructions.
crowds.
Yes. Makes it easy to be an audience.
Yeah.
No,
But no, I
This
get
is
that.
fun.
Yeah, I'm with you, DJ. Because like typically, like if you are in a song and you're telling me this song is a song for something, I'm like, you're not singing about something. You're singing about the song that you're
Right.
singing
Yeah.
in.
It's
But-
meta in a way
Yes.
that doesn't work. It actually kind of like destroys
Yes, exactly.
the illusion.
But I will say this one,
Of the
I
song.
like it. It works for me in this one.
Yeah,
No,
it's
no, it
fun.
won't be a sad song. He's like actively making it. It's not like this is my song to be happy. That would be a bad thing. That I would be like, you're doing the thing. But this isn't quite that.
Right.
He's like using the negative sense. So it's like an
Yeah.
inferred happy
Yeah.
song.
This to me feels the most Calendar Days as well. Like this is, but like kind of stepped up a little
Okay.
bit.
Okay.
That kind of musical theater-y kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised Bryce never like made the jump to not jump's not the right word. Made the like I would say like lateral move, but I'm surprised
Yeah,
he never
yeah.
became like a pop songwriter.
Totally.
You know what I mean? Like just
Yeah.
like a behind the
Yep.
scenes kind of like producer songwriter. Because
Top line writer or something. Yeah.
he's got such a pop sensibility. He's got such an ear for melodies that are
Mm-hmm.
interesting. And yeah, this song I think speaks to that too. It's like, and because then like, I mean, it's like lyrically, it's lots of super cutesy. I think that's what reminds me of Calendar Days. It's very cutesy,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
very like going through all the months. Like the thing is, this I don't know how much of an influence it was on me, but probably bigger than I'd like to admit on my early songwriting and stuff. It was very much the like let's go through, let's name all the months in an interesting way, and like let's talk about all the colors in an interesting way. Maybe I'm thinking that because I just I found a bunch of my old music, and then the Danger Folk EP that's on Bandcamp. I have that song Crayon Colored Afternoon.
Yeah.
And I
Great
was
song.
like, well, it's a good song.
I have a note later that I'm like, this feels like may have influenced this song from Kylan.
Yeah. My last thing is I like his delivery right here.
Course I can't forget all the beautiful colors on the day that we first met.
I love that. That is very
Yep.
musical theater.
It is very, with the syncopation in there.
All the beautiful colors on the day that we first met.
No, that's really fun.
All right.
Do you guys like the "Oh Porcupine" moment at 111, where
Oh, what is it?
because a sad song about now would feel just wrong, and it
yeah.
plays the wrong notes.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's fun. It's like
I didn't even clock that. That's
Yeah. It's pretty
I
sweet.
was
yeah, which is also very musical theater.
For sure.
Yep.
100%.
Yeah.
It is. That's great. Good call out, Josh.
All right. I'm doing everything for you. So let's
And you're
move
doing a
on.
great job.
Am
good
I? I
friend.
don't feel like I am. This is track number 4. I'm doing everything parentheses for you.
You ever do a thing or two just to wait when you don't have a thing to say? I'll try to
Is it
Kylan,
Josh?
didn't
is
you
it-
say you
is
thought
it-
this would be Josh's favorite?
Yes.
He did. Yeah, he did. I don't think it is. Dang. I have like 3 songs that I am like in between, but I don't think this is one of them. I do like it though. I do like it. What were you going to say, Kylan? Because I think I was going to say the same thing.
I don't remember what I was going to say now.
Oh, have we talked about? I know I've talked to you about this personally. Have we talked on the show about my distaste for parenthetical song titles like
no,
this?
No, okay, no. That is exactly what I was.
Yes.
What I was going to say. Yes.
I
Like,
have
Josh,
a
I think
big
you're
beef.
you're my one friend I know who hates parentheticals in that way.
Yes.
Can we unpack that a little bit?
Yeah, and in
Yeah,
both
elaborate.
regards. In both regards, because you have the one set of parentheticals where you have like one song is called, it's like this, and then a different thought is in the parentheses. And then you have something like this, where it's like the same thought, I'm doing everything, parentheses, for you. And I'm like,
Part of
no
the
one needs
thought
the
is
parentheses.
parenthetical.
You don't need that. Just, no one's going to say, I'm doing everything. Like, no one's calling the song that. Everyone's calling the song, I'm doing everything for you. Like, no one's
Right.
just not using the parentheses. I'm guessing, I've never deep dived into this, but I have to assume that was like something from the radio era, maybe, where DJs just wanted to use what wasn't in the parentheses to call the song. But
yeah.
that has to be my only thought, but I don't get why people do that. And I don't like the other one either, where you have like two thoughts and you're like, because I'm like, you're the artist,
Like,
pick
two
one,
separate-
make a statement with your art. Like, don't just have like,
but
I like
see,
both of these ideas, but I
Josh,
don't know.
You're trying to eat your cake, have your cake and eat it too, because you want two opening
Two
tracks.
opening tracks. You want no
But you
parentheticals.
don't want a
But-
song with two titles.
Got the art police
As long as
over
you don't
here.
put the parentheses in there,
Yeah.
it's fine. You can have two opening tracks.
So-
It's okay.
So it could be so a song
insane.
title that would work for you, Josh, is like idea / another idea. Does that pass
If it's in a
the Josh
slash,
test of approval? Yeah, like instead of thought and then another thought in parentheses, like thought / thought.
I think so, because that infers that you're maybe also finding a way to combine them, that they're related somehow. And I'm like, oh, let me just think about
there's a
this.
duality.
This is, yeah, exactly. And I like that more as a creative exercise.
That makes sense.
Yeah. But
What if the
stuff like this,
parentheticals are used for comedic effect?
that's okay.
Okay.
I will give, yeah.
So we have
Because
some
I have
exceptions.
one of my favorites. I've been on a Loretta Lynn tear, and she's got a song called "All I Want from You" (parentheses) is away, and I just think that's very funny.
That's
No.
really good.
That's okay. If it's for comedic effect, I will grant the parentheses.
Okay,
Yep. Kind of you, Josh.
so
Very
this has
generous.
been Grammar Jams Now. What about the actual song? Cool.
I think it's good.
song.
I like
Cool.
it. No, it's cool.
I mean, my big note on it is like, I really love the way they implement that he implements the guitar line mirroring the vocal line around
That's my
like
big
2
note.
minutes.
Yeah.
Smile and say whoa, and there's like guitar sort of. They're like the vocal
then
and
it-
guitar.
and then
chords.
it harmonies.
harmonizing.
Yeah.
And it sounds like
Yes.
power metal for a second.
Yeah. Which is
Yeah, yeah.
Pretty sweet.
Yep, I wrote that too.
Yeah. Hair metal, rocket summer.
Yeah.
Baby.
It's so
Well,
good.
no, and then the guitar line in the chorus is super catchy too. And I think we talked about this on the Do You Feel episode, that I think we all agreed that like piano and drums are like Bryce's strong suit. Obviously he's good at all of them.
Right.
But like I don't feel like I always have a ton of like times to shout out like, oh, like Bryce is doing awesome guitar riffs and licks and stuff like that. But that line is super catchy, which plays into his pop sensibilities. So I think that one's super effective, and I like that a lot.
Also, this song is the first time shouted out "Sweet Sweet Bass."
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yep.
There's a great moment on the pre-chorus. Well, it's the beginning of the pre-chorus where he okay, what I was going to say is there's 2 moments on this album of some things that Bryce does lyrically that probably hit a certain way in 2005 and hit very differently in
I think I
2025.
know the other one.
I
This-
know the other one.
Is
Yeah,
the
yeah.
first. Yep. I'm sure y'all do. And it's going to be so fun to talk about.
TJ's favorite song.
Yeah. But this first one, bless your heart, right? And I
Right.
think he means it earnestly. Like I
Right.
think he's being genuine. Like he's saying like, you've made me happy again. Like I'm sick of pretending. You've enlightened my brain. I think he's being genuine, right? But like we all know that bless your heart has a very different association at this point. It's become,
For sure.
this backhanded compliment that is really just like usually pretty rude. Not to say that it can't be used in a genuine sense, and I know it is often, but it is also taken on a very different
Very
tone.
sarcastic now. Yeah.
Yeah, in the cultural zeitgeist. And so I think it's very funny. Just these albums that are like 20 years old or so, it's like it's fascinating to just unpack the things that like you can't hear the same.
Yeah.
You
Right.
just can't,
Yeah,
no matter
yeah.
how hard you try.
But he definitely like
Bryce, you're being
has,
salty.
yeah, he kind of has the John Foreman the kind of thing going for him though, where he can say things that like anyone else would sound like a little too like on the nose or too cheery or something like that. But you can be like, no, I believe him though when he says something like that. Yeah,
Yeah, I do believe him. Whether it works for me, like fully, is a little hit or miss. I'll be honest. Like so far, the songs that we've talked about, right? Like sometimes it really hits, and I'm like, this works for me on a personal level. But I always, to your point, Josh, like I always believe him. I may just be like, I believe you, but this information that I think you mean earnestly is just not for me. It's just not for me. That's okay.
Get that.
yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
I do
but I
like the
believe him,
line
for sure.
Yeah, no, well, and even like the part where he kind of like gets to the because you've got a ringless finger and I could go buy a ring right now. Well, actually, I don't have any money, but that's okay because I can figure it out. Which I think is a very sweet and humorous moment.
It's cute.
It's very cute. So I do like that, but I do like thinking about. I was thinking about because he recorded this with Tim O'Hare, who much earlier, like a good half a year earlier, it came out. So I'm assuming it was a good amount of time between them. But he did Israel Boy, where Max is on that record singing about drugs and sex, and then Bryce comes in and has all these like genuine love songs about Tara and like his like buoyancy and like how excited he is for life and stuff, and like which is just a fun dichotomy to think about. But it's like I also gotta applaud Bryce for it, because like I know I would be probably self-conscious if I was like working with these big producers like Ed Rose and Tim O'Hare and like Jim Wirt later, being like, I'm the big exuberant joy guy and the piano rock and every song is a major key. But you know what? He leans into it and it's his thing and it works.
Yeah, he owns it. That's for sure. And I respect that.
Sweet. Tell me something good, guys.
I'll tell you something that none of us have hit a favorite song yet, unless TJ's about to say that.
Well, yeah, Tell Me Something Good by Rufus and Chaka Khan. Yeah, that's my favorite song on this album.
Jack number 5. Tell me something good by the Rocket Summer.
What you got, you don't know anything that I'm gonna say right now. 'Cause I'm not so sure why I'm here and why I wanna keep on hanging.
The little snappies and acoustic guitar is very like
Little snappies.
little.
That's
It's
a-
very like early 2000s like pop songwriter guy, like a Ryan Cabrera kind of thing.
And 90s. Like, I feel like it's one
Yeah.
of those holdover concepts that stuck around for a while.
I wrote this. This is fine. This is fine, but this is the first time I noticed how flat the snare sounds, and then I can't like unhear it for the rest of the record. Like I don't like the drum mix at all, and then because up to this point it's just like everything's so full.
Yeah.
But then when you give the
dense
drums
mixes.
like when you open it up a little bit, like this song does, then I can't unhear.
You start hearing the tone of the drums.
and I'm just like,
and
that
yeah, if
snare,
it's like
guys.
not good to your ear, then it's gonna bother you.
Yeah, yeah, and that's just a specific for me thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me, it feels almost like a piccolo snare, like tuned down or something.
Yeah.
and it is a little. I don't know. Like I guess it doesn't necessarily bother me, but it is a little distracting sometimes in this song.
Yeah.
that is more.
Well, I feel like
spacious
everything
and
he
mellow.
does is so piano pop, and he's so good at filling up the songs with
right.
everything that it just doesn't sound like the right snare for this sound.
Yeah, I agree. I do like all the guitars and all the guitar work he's doing on the acoustic parts, and then he's got this little guitar solo going on the electric. So I know I did just kind of like mention, whenever he has a guitar moment, I'll shout it out because it's rare, but he has some good guitar moments on this song too. So
Yeah,
I liked that this takes us down, kind of on a vibe level.
I agree.
I kind of needed a mellow song. I was getting a little exhausted by the fast, kind of high energy.
You
like,
need more
musical
glissandos,
theater
TJ,
rock.
is what you need.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah, that's it. But then he cranks it back up at around like 3 minutes. He goes back to his like really intense, yelly kind of vocal.
Yeah.
And it kind of took me back to my fatigue, if I'm honest. Because I think that's what I realized about how, like at this point in the album, I realized like his voice he's an incredible vocalist, a really good melodic writer, and an incredible performer. But I don't know if his voice is like for me. I think he's got the kind of like, what's his name? Panic at the Disco.
Brendan Urie.
Yeah, or Gerard Way. Like he's got that thing going
like
on,
theatrical,
and he's leaning into a lot of those sensibilities, which is very cool and not for me. I think like most of the time.
That makes sense.
And I kind of came up with a sort of genre title for what I think Rocket Summer is to me.
Okay,
it's Tweemo.
Tweemo, there it is. Yeah,
Tweemo. Mm-hmm. It's like twee. It's not emo. It's not, but it's almost emo. There's especially with the vocal performance style. But he's an amazing vocalist. So I just want to be very clear that I'm not trying to disparage him as a vocalist and as a writer. Like I think like what you mentioned earlier, Kylan, like his pop sensibilities are strong. But I think a lot of
like
his...
I can see, like when you say the word fatigue, I can see... because it's so maximalist.
Yes,
too.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
and I just need a break
song,
sometimes.
Like every song has like the catchiest piano part, like the catchiest vocal parts, like multiple hooks in every song, and it is just like it's a different kind of wall of sound. But no, I get.
It wears your ear out a little
what
bit.
You're saying, yeah,
because your brain is like hooking into all these different catchy parts, and it at a certain point, I guess I need a little bit of a break.
Yeah, and specifically for like the kind of show that we do and the type of listening that we do.
Right.
It's then hard to like parse everything out because it all just kind of starts to blend together because it's just so jam packed.
Yeah, and as a little bit of a further contextualization to something we brought up earlier, Kylan, how you were like shouting out how cool it is that he can go from his like scratchy yell vocal to his really like sweet intimate head voice.
Yeah.
Which I think that's incredibly impressive. I think on Do You Feel like it was he learned a lot, I think, from this record to that record. And I think he knew how to implement that more aggressive vocal at the right times.
At the right
and
times,
I think in this album we are witnessing him, for me personally, him leaning into that kind of like aggressive vocal maybe a little too much, just for me. And if he had maybe just done a different style of vocal performance that was a little more pure singing and maybe lean more into the head voice or more just into like actual, like maybe some vibrato instead of yelling or something like that, I think it would have affected how I feel about some of these songs. Like this one, for example, like I like that he brought it down, but then at 3 minutes he comes back up with a little more like aggressive yelling, and I'm just like, no, you were doing good. Like keep it pretty.
Yeah.
Keep it musical and like light.
Yeah.
And so that's a little bit of a nitpick, I guess I have. But I also love that we've covered an album where we saw growth.
Yeah.
And like this is an opportunity for us to see him like literally in process working out that understanding of his vocal performing.
I think it would have been cool, TJ, to introduce you to Rocket Summer, Calendar Days,
in chronological
Hello Good Friend
order.
Do You Feel? Yeah, just to, because you can very clearly see
the development.
Mm-hmm.
I believe it. But it's interesting. Like it's cool to do it this way too, to like see
and kind of see
where he was
backwards.
at that album and then work backwards. Yeah.
Well, I never knew that
cool.
we would coin the term Tweemo on this show.
Tweemo. That's right.
That's
Moving
great.
on to track number 6, Never Knew.
Thoughts of the things that I once said.
dozens of us. Never know. That's such a.
That's great.
Josh, you guessed this was TJ's favorite song.
Yeah.
TJ, is this your favorite song?
1000% no.
Ooh, no.
Sorry, Josh.
Okay.
Ooh, well, Josh,
Wow,
you
1,000. I was like so wrong. Not
Yeah.
just slightly.
Yeah,
wrong.
it's well, and here's the thing, Josh, is like this is also something I realized about kind of the way I relate to this like project and this album specifically is like there's so many moments on it that I love, and there's also a lot of moments that I really don't jive with, and this song is a great example of that. Like I think it's really strong, like thematically, almost strong lyrically. I think like the idea is really powerful and like universal, but the lines don't quite land for me. And it's a super cool song musically. Like I like the roads coming into prominence at different points throughout the song.
Yeah.
There's a lot to love about this song. There's like a little moment that I like to call a high kicks moment where it shifts to like a very like, again, a very musical theater kind of feeling around 220. But the yelly vocals kind of show up a lot, and that's tough for me. But I love the last 20 seconds of the song where he maybe his best like kind of intimate head
Slows it
voice
down.
performance. Yeah. So just to be fair, Josh, like there are moments on this song that I really like, but like it does feel like certain parts of it feel a little like Baby's first like musical soliloquy or something.
Okay.
I don't know.
No, that's fair.
I was struggling with it a lot.
That's-
There was a lot of conflict
Dang,
in
that's-
me.
All
That's crazy.
fair criticism of my favorite song on the record.
Hey. Wow.
Yeah.
I love
How do
it.
you
Thanks
feel,
for letting
Kylan?
me do my whole
Yeah.
diatribe.
Well, no, you
Kylan.
just jumped right in
That
and
was
started because I was trying
I
to say
did.
that I tried to set it up. TJ, is it your favorite
Yep.
song? You said no, and I was trying to jump in and say like, well, Josh, you were half
It's
right.
mine.
This is my favorite song, and then you just went off. So
Yep, I sure did.
I will.
So
before
tell me how
I
wrong
do
I
want to
am.
hear about Kylan's. I do just want to say I was thinking on a lyrical level for you, TJ, because like I was like, this song has potential to be because it's like learning from someone that you thought you had all figured out, but actually it's something to
Totally.
teach you, and now you want to be like them. And then like he talks about
Yep.
all the things and the thoughts and assumptions that I had wrong. I was like, that's all
Completely.
very TJ, but
Yes,
I
thematically
understand-
it really does
yeah.
resonate. But he's just like 1 degree or 2 away from what I think would be like a really strong, like a lyrically strong song for me. So
yeah,
it's like it's so close, so
It's
close.
close. It's close.
But yeah,
Okay.
you're right about the theme. It
It's
hit,
close, but
for
it's
sure.
1,000% wrong.
1,000% wrong.
Yeah. So Kylan, tell me how wrong I am.
Kylan.
No. I mean, I agree with everything you're saying, but yeah, I just vibe with it.
Yeah.
I didn't realize until this week that it's like such a Jesus-y song. I don't know how. I just because I don't pay
Right.
attention to lyrics, and then I was like, oh, I get it. I was like,
You never knew.
Shit, it's about
You
Jesus.
never knew.
Jesus is his good friend. Like, oh,
see.
okay.
I understand.
Yeah, man, I like all the music. Like
Yeah.
when that lead guitar kind of comes in, and then where is it? This
Yeah.
Things that I once said.
Clicks on the snare.
yeah. It's just like
Yeah.
it's a fun, just like driving kind of like musical
No.
theater. I didn't really put that together, but I think that's why
Yeah.
I like it so much.
Well,
It's
this
like-
chorus is so
Yeah.
catchy. It helps that it
It's-
is the title track. So whenever I
Right.
whenever I think of this record, I do sing that chorus.
Inferred title
it's an
track.
inferred title track, yes, which I love.
Mm-hmm. Your fave.
But it's also just a very catchy chorus that
Yeah.
also happens
I think
to be
that's
the
what it
inferred
is,
title
yeah.
track.
Super catchy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
And for me, as a guy who has a tendency to do yelly vocals when I'm excited, I'm just like, I get exactly what you're saying, TJ. I do feel that way about a lot of this record, but for this song, just specifically this song, I think it works for
It
me.
works,
Yeah.
yeah.
For me
I think there are some
personally.
moments where like he's implementing that aspect of his incredibly broad music ability
Yeah.
very well. And there's some moments where like maybe he felt really great delivering the vocal, but then for some people listening back, it's like, you could have tastefully drawn it in more, or like drawn
For
back
some
with
people.
it.
We
But no,
won't
this
say
is one of
who.
those that I think you. No, we can say it. It's me. It's fine.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there, kind of. This is one of like the three that I'm like, this is one of my favorites. And I
Yeah.
thought it would be. Because I think I would have said this was my favorite song, like, I don't know, 10-ish years ago from the record. I would have said this song. So I've always really
Nice.
liked this one. And I still do like it.
Sweet.
Oh, I do really like the, at the end, in the part that TJ really likes, there's like the quick and kind of subtle effect at 3:56 of like the tape slowing down or turning off of it that takes everything out except for the piano and the vocals.
Yeah.
So hello, good friend.
Yeah, that's cool.
It doesn't just like fade it out. It's
Yeah,
which is cool.
that is
Yeah.
cool. All right, guys, from the Brat Pack of Christian music podcasting to you, the listeners. Track number 7, Brat Pack.
When I am 34, just talking about high school years. No, I don't wanna be there. And I feel so stuck right here, back and forth, side to side. Oh my dear.
Josh, why did you think this was my
Man,
favorite song?
I just think it's so clever that he would take, like the Rat Pack and then just change the song title and make
Oh
it
my
something
God.
completely new
Oh my God,
and just
get
come up
outta
with
here.
something
Totally
completely
original.
but also like winking
Completely
at
not
something
derivative
classic,
at all.
Uh-huh. Love
you
it.
love movies, so
Movie
I
jams
thought
now.
of you. Yeah, I thought of you for it.
I thought this might be TJ's favorite song because it references a song he probably likes a lot more.
I did think about TJ for the sledgehammer part.
What?
Right here?
Peter Gabriel's
Lost.
Sledgehammer song.
Oh.
It belonged to Peter Gabriel's
Dude.
sledgehammer song.
I completely missed that.
Oh, really?
I think I was.
See,
I
this
was
is what I'm saying.
Maybe
The back half of this record, I feel like your brain probably just shut off.
Yeah,
that-
I
is
was,
that a correct
I think I was
assumption
having
on my
a
part?
little bit of a lizard brain moment.
Yep.
We'll see if that remains the case. But like, I think on this one, I think I was like, "Oh, Brat Pack, that's funny, that's cool," and that was kind of all I was able to engage.
Yeah,
with.
because of the Rat Pack. Haha.
Oh my God.
It's great.
Haha, I get it.
Yeah.
The end.
The end.
Man, that's cool. No, thanks for pointing that out. I somehow completely missed that. That's really cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the most streamed song on the record and the music video.
I
So
remember
it's a
the
little
music
basic,
video for
but
this.
I think I'm gonna say this is my favorite song.
Favorite song?
Just barely.
Nice.
Just barely over Never Knew. But this is definitely a song that back in the day I would throw on when I was like feeling a little homesick, and wish I was like, because it does have
Real,
like the
hometown kind
yeah,
of
it's a
song,
hometown
yeah.
vibes, and I love that it does have like a lot of growth where he starts out like the classic emo, I gotta get out of this town, but then throughout the song he slowly realizes like some of the things he hates about it, that it's not changing, is also what he needs sometimes.
Yeah.
But so
And that
obviously,
chorus
Yeah, that's
hook
cool.
is so
it's
catchy
so catchy,
And it's got the
It's
white guy
that.
funk guitar on
Yes,
it.
it does.
Dang
Yes, it
dang
does.
dang it,
Yeah.
dang it.
Yep.
It has some kind of No Doubt vibes. Like that's kind of what I
yeah.
was picking up on that part. Like
Well, and I
early.
wonder if they knew this
early
was
stuff.
going to be like the big song from it, and like still put it as like track 7, because it's like you're right in the middle of the record here, and they're saving it.
Right.
So I like that it's
Right.
kind of like leading up to the big single instead of it being like track 2 or 3 or
Right.
something like that. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah, it was a cool
And
move.
there's some fuzzy bass in the bridge in the final chorus.
Oh, yeah.
Which for me the bass doesn't stand out a ton on this record, but this I had some moments I was like, I see it with that fuzzy bass. I like that.
Good song. All
That's
right,
cool,
so
Josh.
we're
I would not have guessed that to be your favorite. That's really cool.
Yeah, I think so.
We got 2 favorites down, 1 to go.
One to
We'll
go.
see if we can dig up some treasures along the way with track number 8, Treasures.
So what I made, saw that I was sincere. So using me up, then threw me away. Build your careers and friendship. Quote unquote.
This is what the midpoint of Act 2 in the musical. Also,
Mm-hmm.
he brings it down, but not in a way that I like.
Yeah, I kind of struggled at this point too.
Yeah, I think maybe a little too much. It does kind of feel like a companion piece. This is where I feel like we get a little bit of the themes from Move to the Other Side of the Block coming back up. Things that like chasing success and whatnot, and it's also piano driven. I am curious, like, what experience sparked Bryce to write this song? Like, and this is before his major label career, so I don't know if he had some other interest or something like that. But yeah, definitely something that he got burned by someone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I gotta say the line "dying dirty, digging for
I was about to
treasure"
bring this up
is
too.
excellent. That's a killer lyric.
Dying dirty, like
10 out of 10.
that. Also, it feels so musical theater though too.
It does.
It's so alliterative.
Mm-hmm.
Besides that, it's a good song. Sorry.
Yeah, I think it sets up the next song nicely.
For sure. Well, let's see what the story is with that. Moving on to track 9, Story.
Just admit the way you feel and see that we are raw. One thing's burning dang. And it's true that we all wanna be the baddest. We all have a little baggage, even though we hide it and we always will deny it. We are
TJ's favorite song.
But
or not he knows
actually, no, it actually is.
Is it actually your favorite
Is
song?
it?
I didn't have to convince you.
It's actually my favorite song. You didn't. No convincing was needed.
You don't have to
Yeah,
convince
we
him.
were
It's
already on
really
the
it's
same
his
page.
favorite song. He really loves it every time
Can
he
I
hears
tell
the
you?
chorus and like
Can I
that.
tell you why I
Yeah.
think maybe?
Tell me why you.
And I don't know if it's
Give
something
me
you
what
articulated.
your attorney argument would have been.
Right. You changed the production just a little bit. This is an Architecture in Helsinki song.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I can hear that.
yeah, 100%. You had a
Everything
flugelhorn
about like
and some xylophone.
right, and then you get some gang vocals on that chorus,
Yep.
and maybe have him just sing falsetto at this point. Like you just change it a little bit.
It's so true.
Wow,
This is
you're
so
right.
Architecture in Helsinki. The female vocals come in on that
Oh
part.
my god. Yes. Ugh.
I wanna be the baddest female.
We all wanna be the baddest. We all have a little baggage,
I mean,
even though
yeah.
we had it, and we always will deny
It's a
it.
little
We're
like
driving this-
cemetery, the cemetery, or like there's just add some like weird instruments you bought at the dollar store and like a French horn.
a kazoo,
Yeah.
glockenspiel. Yep.
And boom.
Okay, so why
100%.
is it your favorite song?
What's the story on this song being your favorite, TJ?
I can't believe I got that right.
Well,
I know.
I mean, you nailed it, Kylan. Great job. It's definitely like you're helping me see the elements that already existed in it before your little Architecture in Helsinki tweak suggestion that I liked about it. Like, you're helping me see them in a new light, but it's definitely all the stuff you're saying. Like, I think it's some of the most impressive vocal performance of his, like, on this album. Like, but not just the really quick, like, almost like rap adjacent lyrical delivery, but like he also has a lot of really cool, like, yelly vocals that to me, this is a song where his yell vocals work really well.
Yeah.
And then he also has the head voice transition, like a lot of cool runs where he's kind of getting up into that head voice. I love the line about we all want to be the baddest. We all have a little baggage, even though we hide it, and we always will deny it. And here's the second iteration.
This is the gayest song
Bryce
on the album.
Writing something.
Complimentary. Parentheses,
Yeah.
complimentary.
It's the LGBTQ anthem that nobody knew we had in 2005. We're driving this float down Maine in this Pride parade. Now this is what I want Bryce to weigh in on. This is what I want to hear about from him. Like, how do you feel about this song in 2025? But no, it's just it's a banger. I think it's a really catchy song. It's like super hooky. There's some dynamism happening, like where I was kind of feeling that like wall of sound intensity, just like we go to 0 to 60 from the beginning of the song to the end of the song on a lot of these tracks. This one goes down on the bridge, and there's like some tom work and stuff that you can actually hear the performance of in a cool way.
Yeah.
And then we get that reckless abandon, like drunken choir kind of thing at the end with the whoa, whoa, like BGVs that take us out in that outro. I just think it's a song with a lot of good movement and a lot of good parts. And I love what he's singing about it. Sometimes I have motives that are just so stupid and I play the fool. The charade has got to end. Stop acting like you know everything. I think he's like reckoning with some of his own like self-perception. And like you said, Josh, at the top of the episode, like he's talking about how society's perceiving him and just kind of dealing with the fact that like, hey, actually we're all the same. Like we all have a little baggage. The theme is strong and the lyrics for me really like land. So like both are working in concert on this one. So yeah.
Wow. I love that you called it, Kylan.
It's because it's an Architecture in Helsinki song.
Yep.
It totally is.
With great lyrics for TJ too. I was going to see if we can maybe rename CJN to One Big Learning Gang. Because I like that line. We're just
pretty
one
good.
big
One
learning
big learning
gang here.
Yeah.
That's really the beauty of this podcast.
The beauty of this podcast is that
we are just one big learning gang.
That's true.
Yeah.
It sounds like a PBS show that would come on after.
No,
Mr.
that's what I was
Rogers.
saying. I was already thinking of the logo in my head.
Perfect.
And I love it.
Yep. Kylan, this is the song that made me think of your song, the song with no title. Is there any...
Oh, dude, here's
That's
the thing.
cool.
I don't even remember anything about the song with no title.
That one's kind of fast
But
wordy
yes, it's
as
gotta
well.
be. Yeah.
I listened to a snippet of it today, but I was like, also maybe BNL is maybe an inspiration
Yeah,
there as well.
for sure.
but
The two of those combined. Do you have the song with no title?
it's on Spotify.
Is it really?
It really
Jesus
is.
Christ. Okay. I'm gonna have to
Listeners,
listen
if you
to
want to
it.
hear Baby
Go check it out.
Kylan singing a Rocket Summer BNL song, check it out.
Do you know what else this song is? It's also a Hot Hot Heat song. That just clicked for me. It's like if Steve Bays and Architecture in Helsinki like co-wrote a song.
Yeah. What are we doing? Architecture in Helsinki? No. Rocket
Yep.
Summer.
Yep.
Oh my
Yes.
God. Guys,
Yeah, I
I'm losing
Yeah.
my mind.
Yeah, it's okay if you want to just say goodbye and wave to that song, from your past. And
Great
drive
transition.
ways.
It would be great if I had it queued up. Track number 10, Goodbye Waves and
In
Driveways.
this stubborn fight, and our lives are so intertwined and one. The word is so stuck in this moment. It's clear that we're coming undone.
I feel like the song needed, or the album needed, like an acoustic-y song, but I just don't. So this record too, I think it really struggles with like the first half is like we kind of talked about like the maximalist, like breakneck speed pop production. And then the second half of the album, the songs start getting longer, which is for me, it's like just not a good combination.
Yeah, I think if you did the maximalist thing, you could have kept it going, but kept it like 10 songs and just it's like a quick 30-minute, 35-minute record, and you can just boom. But because it is so like
Totally.
very fast and big, the very long and slower.
But it's got one of my favorite things, how Josh loves an inferred title track. I love songs that talk about cigarettes.
You sure do. I love the string section on this song. I think it's
Yes,
gorgeous.
no, this was the appropriate song to bust out the string arrangement for. And then I said
Build
Bryce
at
is,
the end is really cool.
yeah,
Like,
and Bryce is really
a
feeling
lot
the
of good
song
growth.
with those screams. His scream isn't my favorite, but I believe the emotion. But it is also funny
Yeah.
to me to hear him screaming, "Because I love you, and you love me."
huh?
You know what? He does. I believe him.
Yeah. It's like they're in the studio and Tim O'Hare was just like, Bryce, on this next take, show me everything you've got.
And he did.
Track number 11, show me everything
And he
you've
did.
Show me what you got. There you go. That's a joke just for you, Kylan.
It's hard for me to even try to understand why you are beating your own heart. 'Cause you gotta try, just try to be honest.
Oh, okay. This one I think is one of the most musically interesting songs on the record.
Yeah.
This intro is unlike anything we've heard on the record so far. Like, it's groovy with the palm mutes and stuff.
That's true. It feels kind of old school rock and roll a little bit.
Yeah, it does. The progression in the chorus is interesting. All of verse 2 is very different from what we've heard from the Rocket Summer. Especially, I love the second half of verse 2. It's like maybe more of an emo song or a regular rock song with like the picked guitar parts in there.
And the funky drums.
I know.
That's
This
so
song is really good. And
good.
I think the album needed this song right here.
Definitely did. It definitely did. So, yeah.
Like,
this
Some
song
parts of
was-
this song feel like it could be like on a format record too.
Yes.
Like there's like moments
that's
where
what it
they're feeling very the
is.
format.
Yeah.
And there's moments across this album that felt that way to me.
Yeah,
It's a pretty cool song. It's very varied. Josh,
I feel like
to your
I
point. Like,
often
it is
talk
very
about
dynamic.
how a lot of times songs like this at this point in a record, I feel like they're in the wrong place because I've like started to lose interest and that it kind of suffers from placement. I think this is great here. I think it works. I think you needed
it needs
something.
the energy and
Completely.
the newness of like what Bryce is bringing musically to like, oh, there are some new elements still that we're introducing.
For sure.
Yeah.
Right.
I have a Grammar Jams now
Uh-oh.
of Your Heart, Just Let It Make Sound. And also a Health Jams now, because should you let your heart let it make sound?
No.
I don't know.
I'm not a doctor.
We're not
Should ask some
doctors
medical
here.
professionals.
Yeah, so we can't legally give medical advice, but I will say if your heart is making sound, maybe go get it checked out.
Well, I mean,
Depends
hearts
on the
beat.
sound, maybe.
They beat.
Yeah,
Like a pulse is a sound.
Yeah.
to the beat of a
so-
drum.
And hearts need a beat. We learned on Do You Feel?
That's true. Well, then you were wrong, Josh.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Sustained. No Grammar Jams now or medical jams
This has
now.
been Health Jams now.
Help jams now.
I was also thinking that this song with the big crescendo would have been a great place to maybe end the record.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
But no.
Yep.
But no, it's almost as if it was our destiny to keep going.
Keep going.
Track 12, Destiny.
And I will say, so don't cover up your hands and hit me. And what I have to tell, I hope that these words they find you well.
Here's the deal. Yeah, like we are starting to get into what feels like B-side territory. Because then we kind of just go back to, I don't know, I feel like you could swap this out for any of the songs on the first half of the record. Like it just does, like musically, lyrically, I mean, he talks about like the other side of the street, the colors, the like things, this will, you will be my song. Like it's like lots
Themes
of
we've
things
already
that he's
touched
talked
on.
about before, and
He's
it doesn't.
tying it all together.
I know, but it doesn't feel like it's adding anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I agree. I will say I had the thought of like Bryce is just like brimming with creativity because one, we've already talked about that he's like writing and playing all these songs and they're not sparse songs. Like there's a lot of words to them, like which you think like Jason Martin, Starflyer, like he's just playing guitar. He's not doing all the instruments, but like whenever he gets to vocals, like his lyrics is as minimalist as it can be because I imagine creatively he's like, I'm just going to invest all that into the music. But Bryce is like, no, I still have so much creative output for the lyrics as well once I've done all the music, which is very impressive.
Right.
But it does make for a long record because he's got a lot of ideas.
Yep.
For sure.
And that's something I relate to. Like I think I tend to write really long wordy songs and
You
know,
put
in
a
the
lot
last-
of musical ideas into songs too.
Yeah, and in the last handful of years, I've tried to really work on editing myself and find other people I trust to help me edit, and so kind of what I was similarly to what I was mentioning earlier. Like it's cool to see Bryce in process, where on this album maybe he hasn't applied the editor side of like being a really great pop writer that we've all acknowledged he is. Like he's learning those skills on this album and, into other albums to come. And gaining that maybe restraint or discretion that can help a listener really connect with a lot of these ideas that he has that you're talking about, Josh, like musically and lyrically. It's like you're a wellspring of talent, man, and like great creative ideas, but focusing them and honing them, like it's interesting to see him kind of like wrestling with that on this album, where we're 12 tracks in and we're like, well, this you could have swapped this out with track 2 or something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I like that. Kylan, did you like the Say Anything guitar part we get at 324? Very fun moment.
Oh, that lead line kind of at the end?
Yeah. No, it's just like that right there.
That is very Say Anything.
That's so Say
It
Anything.
rips, man. It's
No,
cool.
it's great. I love it. I love it. And I get
Bring
like,
it.
and like this is an appropriate ending to your record, talking about destiny and the mark that you'll leave. It would be a good final thought to the record as well,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Josh.
The end of this album is like fucking Return of the King, man. There's like
It's no Sir Nihilism for you.
yeah, exactly. Like, let's just pick one. But it goes back to what TJ was saying, where I think the editor part wasn't really fully fleshed out. Yeah, all of these could have worked.
Right.
But instead,
Yep.
we get to open up the Christmas present.
In May.
Comes down to
some reason.
this.
Yep.
The final track, Christmas present.
I get why this is the last song.
Yeah.
I don't think which is funny because like the song is so long. The lyrics are very short, so it's a lot of jamming. But like
you basically just like summarized my main issue with this song, Josh.
No, it's because the first lyrics, he says it's the perfect ending. So in his mind, it is the perfect ending. But I do get it. Like, this is what I assume is like potentially his last song to Tara as like before they're married kind of thing. So it is a very sweet like moment in their lives to like cap off that record as they're like ending this phase and going into the next stage of their lives. So I get that.
That's cool.
But I don't think we needed the record. Like, it's great for Bryce and Tara, but without that context, I think you'd be like, why is this long song that's mostly music the ending song?
I think I feel like, especially hearing that, Josh, like, because I didn't have that context, but I really I appreciate that extra insider info on it, and it does help me enjoy it a little more. But it makes me feel also like this could have been like a bonus track on a deluxe version of the
iTunes
album.
exclusive.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, for all the Rocket Summerheads that are like, I want every single track, and I totally respect that. Like, people, every good artist or band has their diehard fans that love everything they do, and as they should. This feels like a track for them, which is cool. Like, it's cool that it exists, but
that was a very political way of saying this is the Rocket Summer's deathbed.
We haven't even covered that one yet, man.
I know.
I can't believe you've like
did I kill your
invoked that song so many times already. But we haven't even covered that yet.
Yeah, I know.
That's true.
But you're right. Well said, Kylan.
Yeah.
Succinct.
It's too
Per
long.
usual.
It's too long, guys. It's too long. What are we doing?
Yep.
What are we doing at this point?
Yeah. It's just a 8.5 minute song, for something that could have been much shorter,
I mean, you take this out and we're at a breezy 45 minutes?
Yeah. Well, it's not just I kind of forgot about, because I was like, I'm sure I've listened to this song before, but I did not remember it, and I definitely did not remember like the hidden track that's attached to this, which was a very interesting, surprising song to like be like, oh, this is like, I mean, it definitely feels like, I'm glad it was a hidden track, but that seems like a weird way to end the album, as like, this is the last thing that you get. Like Christmas Present, I would be like, I would have ended it differently, but I get ending it there.
Yeah.
But the bone, I mean, I get Good News Is Coming is a fun way to end the album, but it doesn't seem to fully match with like the themes on the record and what we've been talking about.
Just when hidden track technology became available, you know, much like the creators of Jurassic Park, artists never stopped to think just because they could create something. They never stopped to think whether they should.
Yeah, because does it change like does it change that like, does that make it the hidden track? Does that make it the actual closing track, or is Christmas Present the closing track and the other is like a bonus? Like,
it's a bonus. I feel like
okay,
it's like a Marvel post credits scene.
okay, which is only
But
like,
some of those are the linchpin of like the next tentpole film, Kylan.
that's true.
That's so stupid. I hate it. I hate it. Don't. Never mind.
I'm just stating a fact. I'm not.
Yeah, I
trying
know,
to
and it's bad. It's
form an opinion on it.
bad for movies. It's bad for our society. We're
No, but Kylan, then you can't re-release the movie with an extra final cut scene to get people to buy the ticket all over again and boost up your sales.
Yeah.
well, guys. We listened to "Do You Feel" by the Rockets,
And we feel
we did it.
Like we're all
saying
still good
hello.
friends.
We goodbye, old friends.
Don't know why you say hello. I say
When
goodbye.
I say goodbye. Ooh, we should talk about that. We should talk about the Beatles. I don't know why I keep wanting to talk about everything but the Rocket Summer on the Rocket Summer episode.
Yeah, Kylan, you're right. Nobody has talked about the Beatles. There's not enough
No one.
people talking
And who
about
is
the
more
Beatles.
qualified
No one is
than
more qualified
three
than
middle-aged
us.
white dudes who have a
Yep.
podcast?
Musicians.
Musicians, yeah, exactly.
Quote, end quote.
We did it. We listened to
We
it.
did it.
How do we feel? That was not intentional. TJ, let's go.
Yeah,
let's
I feel
go.
like
let's
I'm-
do final flopper bop.
What's your story on the
verdicts.
Flopper Bop, TJ?
Find any treasures?
So I never knew that I would have so much to sort of analyze and unpack on this one. After feeling like I quote like got the Rocket Summer based on the album that we covered before. But I will say, like I mentioned, I liked getting to dig into earlier work so that I can appreciate like the trajectory and the growth of Bryce as an artist.
Yeah.
There were a lot of cool moments on this album. There were also a lot of things that didn't work for me. And while I think Tweemo is an interesting genre, it is not the genre for me ultimately. So I'm gonna have to give this one a fair flop, as I predicted. What?
Well, let me guess.
What are
The
you guessing?
conversation was a bop. Are you
No
going to start
comment.
flopping our conversations too?
Is
I
that
might.
because
I keep
You
calling
abused
it
Kylan,
out
you were
now?
kind of off your game tonight, so maybe also
Yeah.
a flop.
Fair.
Yeah,
Fair point.
it's true. I don't just hand them out. I know you think I do, but conversation bops are a lauded award that doesn't just happen to everyone all the time.
Dang, we lost this one, Kylan. Maybe next time
yeah.
we'll get him.
We was so alone.
Yeah, if you show me everything you've got, maybe.
Well, if you flop this, he's going to flop Calendar Days.
Maybe.
Oh yeah,
Maybe not.
He may, no, definitely. He may bop of Men and Angels.
yeah. It's got some good stuff.
Remains to be seen.
Okay. A fair flop. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah. But like I said,
is
there's a
fair.
lot of cool elements here, and I still will always give it up to Bryce for being an incredibly talented musician,
Insane. Yeah.
writer, lyricist, vocalist. Like,
All the above.
Yeah.
Good on you, man. Yeah.
Yeah. It's very
Crazy
impressive.
talented.
All right, Josh, what about you? Where do you land?
For me, as someone who previously only listened to the first 7 songs, I did find more to enjoy after track 7. I do think it's definitely too long and kind of ends on a weird note. But obviously, I can understand some of the reasoning why, and especially this was in 2005 when CDs were super long, and this is also Bryce's second record, so he's just like going at it.
Right.
So I get that.
Yeah.
So it does have maybe some like potential for some resequencing, for maybe some cutting as well. But as it is, I will move to the other side of the block and give this an around the clock bop.
Nice.
Love it.
Well, Kylan,
Well,
where you at, brother? Which side of the block are you on?
How do you feel, Kylan?
Well, I feel it's my destiny to either agree with TJ and flop it or agree with Josh and bop it.
That's true.
Those are your options.
Can I abstain? That would be so funny. Or what if I use
Ooh.
this? No, I'm not going to use this for my... Right, we keep talking about how we all have the ability to make one thing a triple... Is it a triple bop or a triple flop?
I think you get one a year of both, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. We gotta iron out those rules.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think my prediction was correct. I think there's a lot. So for me, yeah, like I know this is a big record for Rocket Summer fans. For me, Calendar Days has a lot more nostalgia, and I was a lot more into Twemo when that came out. I was all about the cutesy thing, and then Do You Feel is just such a solid pop record. This one just kind of it feels like a transition. It's got, like TJ said, it's got so many good moments on it.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel it's a little bloated. Just some, and kind of like Josh was saying, maybe resequencing or cutting some stuff, because it feels like it drags towards the end. I mean, even with like Show Me Everything You've Got and stuff, like it just feels, the songs just keep getting longer and longer as you go on, which is not my favorite. That being said, I think there's enough good stuff on this album that I am, like my prediction, gonna say Bear Bop.
All right.
It's a good...
Nice.
So the thing about it is, like I was talking about earlier, like it's hard for our kind of show. Like there's so much stuff going on and there's so many different hooks in every song. It makes it really hard to like focus, listen to it. But
ones,
it's a really great May, June driving around record. Like it's a good sort of like, if you're like running errands, bopping around town kind of record to like put on, where you can like hone in and like sing or yell some of those like big parts, and then you can kind of like tune out if you need to, you know?
Right.
Yeah, but I think it's good. It's worth a listen. I think there's definitely some stuff on there.
Nice.
Yeah.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
Assessment, good friend.
All right, well, that's going to do it for us. If you like this, we have more nonsense like it at our Patreon, patreon.com/churchjamsnow podcast. And from all of us here at Collide Records, #ChurchJamsNow.
How do you feel?
Tell us how you feel. From all of us here, the CJ and crew, may all your favorite bands stay together. Everything's an instrumental.
No,
Peace out, Muffers.
the one big learning gang.
From all of us here, the one big learning gang. I like it. We'll just pick it up. I'll fix it in post.
Yeah. We'll get it going.
The end. Keep forgetting that side.